Hey, what up YouTube? It's your boy Meg, and I'm back today with my 4070 Super buying experience. I was able to get a Founders Edition on launch day at Best Buy. I even waited until the afternoon. Now they have sold out a couple of times since then, but I think if you have some patience and check the site a couple of times a day, they should be having more stock come available if you want the Founders Edition. They've been I've been checking every day just to kind of see, and for a few days they were not available, and then they'd pop up, and then they would not be available again. It's not available for me right now. I could not order one again. But like I said, yesterday they were available, so I would expect that they will be coming in and out of stock. And as the other Super Series cards launch, we should see more availability of the Super. I think a lot of people are waiting for the more expensive models, but time will tell. We'll see. If you're not interested in the Founders Edition, pretty much everywhere has, even Best Buy, you know, has some of the AIB cards available. Maybe not for the MSRP price of $599, but they do have 4070 Supers available. I used air quotes there because, yeah, the MSRP is $599, but it's not like, you know, this MSI card for $629, it's not a scalper price. This is still MSRP in a way. This is just the price that MSI is charging for their this particular triple fan model. So in a way, it's still MSRP. It's just not the base MSRP. It's like the difference between, you know, I bought a WRX Premium. Well, you could go out and buy a WRX base, and they're different prices, obviously. So that's what you're dealing with here. If you have a Micro Center nearby, you know, they have stuff like this, Asus Dual 4070 Super available for the $599, as well as, and this is just mine, your stock will vary at your local Micro Center, but we've got a couple of Zotacs and a PNY, and then a couple of more expensive ones up here. Newegg, you know, has the Dual from Asus here for $609. A $599 Zotac, bunch of Zotacs. Here's a white for $630 if you want one for a white build. That's interesting. The Tough, if I was going to buy an AIB card, I would probably buy the Tough, even at $689. It's just got a really nice aesthetic to it. Triple fan design. Not that the 4070 Super really needs it. I think that the Dual will probably perform pretty similarly to this, but if you want the triple fan design, a little better cooling, this is probably the one that I'd go for, and it's not a giant markup over the $599 base price. So without any further ado, we're going to hop in the car and we're going to go to Best Buy. So just some thoughts as I'm on my way to the store here. Should you pick up a 4070 Super? There's a lot of debate right now, people pointing at different cards, and people are pointing at the 4070 Ti Super as the one to get because it has the 16 gigabytes of VRAM. You know, that one is on the 8103 die. But we're talking $800 starting for that, and you know that the AIB models are going to be, I mean, there's going to be a Strix that's, you know, pushing 1,000. You know, you reach a certain point with this gaming stuff where it's just diminishing returns. Now, if you've got an unlimited budget and, you know, you're just really going to push things and price isn't really a concern, you know, then this talk isn't for you, you know. But if you're trying to spend a little bit of coin and put together a really capable gaming rig that'll do 1440p super well, that can dip its toes into 4K if you want to try and do that, or 3440 ultra wide. I think that this GPU offers you a lot of value. Even the 4070 at $550, and if that drops closer to $500, I saw a guy picked one up yesterday for $515 on clearance from Best Buy, and I don't know why it was clearance. He said the clearance is the word that he used. I don't know if it was an open box return or something, but he picked up a 4070 Founders Edition for $515. But the 4070 Super really gives you everything that you need. The 4070 Super really gives you what you need. You know, you're getting performance of a, say, a 3080 Ti up to like a 3090, minus the VRAM that the 3090 has for sure. So you're going to crush 1440p. You're going to be able to dip your toes into 4K, and all for $600. Now, $600 is a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But if you compare it to the last generation, it's $100 cheaper than a 3080, which you could never find for MSRP anyway, so there's that. You know, that 3080, the whole 30 series came out at the worst possible time in history during the, you know, the COVID crunch and the crypto mining boom and what have you. But the Super has given us 3080 Ti, 3090 performance, 12 gigs of VRAM. It's a pretty solid card. You pair that with something like a 13600K, and you're going to be golden for a long time. How long, you know, nobody can say that, but several years anyway before you even start thinking about, oh, maybe this isn't cutting it anymore. And in my opinion, 1440p gaming is where it's at. If you want to play on a giant screen, you know, you do you. And if you want to play on a big screen, then yeah, at least ultra wide, if not 4K, is where you want to go. But a 27-inch nice panel 1440p monitor is about perfect, in my opinion. A lot of other people feel that same way, though, and if you tried it out, I think you might too. Your pixels per inch is pretty high. You've got good pixel density, so you've got a super good picture quality, and 1440p, while harder than 1080p, is not anywhere close to as hard to run as 4K is. So you're going to have performance in 1440p for a lot of years with a card like this. If you want to play, you know, AAA games as they come out, you know, stuff like Avatar and Cyberpunk, Alan Wake 2, you know, and do it well, I think that this is kind of the, I don't know that it's the bare minimum. You know, 4060 Ti can probably do it. Maybe a 7800 XT, although I don't have any experience with those yet. A 4070, I think, can do okay as well. You know, the Super is only about, what, 19-20% better than the outgoing 4070 is. Well, not outgoing, they're still selling it. But so I think if you want just a really good, balanced gaming PC that's not super high end, but also not like super budget and as cheap as you can get into it, I think an i5, like a 13600K, 14600K, whatever, and a 4070 Super with like a minimum 750 watt power supply, but I'd probably recommend an 850 just so you have some room for future upgrades. But 750 watt, 850 watt power supply, 13600K, put a decent air cooler on it like an AK620 or a Noctua, the 4070 Super, you're going to be set. You're going to get 100, 120 FPS in a lot of games. You know, the brand new stuff, you might end up needing DLSS and frame gen to hit over 100. But that, you know, that's what we're going to check out when we get the thing back in the test rig. You know, we're going to play all these games and we'll find out exactly what it's going to do in Avatar, in Alan Wake 2, in Cyberpunk. We're going to try them out. So if you like the results that you see here today, you know, maybe this shows you the value of the 4070 Super to you, or maybe it shows you that it's not a value to you. You know, maybe you want more performance, or maybe you don't need as much performance. So we'll figure that all out. We're just a couple minutes down the road from Best Buy now, so I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts about it and why someone might want to purchase it. There's going to be people that want to compare it to the AMD cards as well. You know, a 7900 XT is What'd that drop down to? 710, 710 for some models. I think a lot of them are going for 750. You know, on paper, it is a lot more horsepower and a lot more VRAM than a 4070 Super, but now you are climbing up in price to $700, $750. And then it's always a slippery slope, I feel like. If you say, okay, I'm going to go up by this much to get that much, okay, that's fine. But then at 750, now you're $50 away from a 4070 Ti Super. Gosh, that name is so dumb. I really don't like that they combined it. But at any rate, and I would personally, because I do prefer NVIDIA, I would rather have the Ti Super over a 7900 XT. You might not feel that way, and that's fine. I would definitely, again, just me, I would rather have a 4070 Super than a 7800 XT. But that might just be me. And that's not me bashing the 7800 XT. I'm just saying, for me personally, I prefer NVIDIA. I like the features that NVIDIA has. I'm one of the ones that really likes ray tracing. I really massively prefer DLSS to FSR. So, you know, that's just me. Your mileage may vary. And we're talking close to the same price now, and we're, you know, comparing the 7800 XT to the 4070 Super. You know, about $100-ish difference. So, you know, if you are on a tighter budget, the 7800 XT might be a better buy for you. But again, we're talking about, in my opinion, what I think would be a really good mid to you know, lower high end gaming rig. I think the 4070 Super is going to be where it's at. But we'll check out all the benchmarks here tonight. All right, y'all. I finally got it home. Let's crack this bad boy open. We've got a couple of stickers here that say tear. So goodbye to you. And goodbye to you. Oh yeah. Wah. I do love me a Founders Edition card. Man, this thing in the black looks so good. I'm going to have to go get my 4070 to compare. 4070 FE is also a great looking card, but this thing, I love the black. And I don't hear anything rattling around in this one. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, go watch my 4070 unboxing video. I had a rattle in it, and I disassembled the card and found some kind of piece of plastic in there that somebody finally, after a while, remarked, oh, that looks like basically a part from some kind of injection molding process or something that was just floating around in there. But this does not have any of that. That is so good. And again, it does have, the 4070 did as well, but this has 12-pin HV PWR. And anything useful in here? We've got our 2-pin connector. I guess that's it. I am actually going to see, though, if my 90-degree cable mod that I'm supposed to return will work. Yeah, no, I forgot. I bought this for the 4090. I'm just going to have to go ahead and return it to cable mod, I guess. And this right here is what we're going to be installing the 4070 Super in. Right now it has the ARC A770 limited edition, the 16 gigabyte Intel version of the card. I just got done filming a bunch of benchmarks with that, so look for that video soon. You'd be surprised what this thing will play. Physically, they're about the same size, honestly. So that's pretty cool. It's going to look really good in here. So it's going to be running with the 13700K in this system. I got 32 gigabytes of DDR5. It's not fast DDR5, it's 5600 CL34, but I haven't really had any issues with it. I've been thinking about getting a 6000 or 6400 kit to see if that'll run on this Z690. I know that I'm about 99% sure the 6000 will. I don't know about 6400. But yeah, this thing is going to be BA. All right, we got 3DMark going. Let's run some benchmarks. I think I'm going to start off and do Timespy. I'm going to do Timespy, Port Royal, and Speedway just on the factory clocks, and we'll see what we get. So let's start with Timespy. Little CPU test, and we'll be wrapped up. $20,704. Graphics score got us a 20,453. Looks like the average right now is 21,032. And looks like our GPU clock was right at 20, up to 2655. And just so you can see here, we are totally stuck. We didn't even bump the power limit up. We should probably at least do that. Let's do that. And you know what? I'm going to try it again. So I'll say this, with the power limit raised, it is definitely holding the boost clock more stable without even adjusting anything else. $21,112, 2,700 total. Yeah, we bumped it up 300 points, almost 250 points. So graphics score was 20,704. So we bumped the graphics score up 400 points just by cranking up the power limit. So let's go ahead and let's see what Port Royal will do. So Port Royal, we got a 13,026. So it looks like the number one score here is a 15,029. GPU core clock 3090. Holy smokes. So I am just outside of the top 100, 13,221. Let's try out Speedway real quick though. For reference, I like Speedway because it's a fairly fast one to run. It's full ray tracing in 1440p. It's just a pretty good benchmark, I feel like, for graphics cards, if you care about ray tracing. My 4090 hits like 10,200 and some change in this. So I would probably expect this to hit 5,000, 6,000 maybe. I don't remember offhand what my 4070 was running. I feel like it was around 4,500. And interesting to note here, we're only hitting about 240 watts. And the moment of truth, 5220. 6127, again, Talon's Tech. He's hitting a GPU core clock of 3100 still. So, did I make the top 100? I did not. Alright, well, we'll come back to this in a moment. Let's do 200 megahertz. Let's see, our boost clock is running at 2850. Running pretty solid at 2805, 2790, 2805. $53.12, so picked it up a little bit, but not enough. So we're jumping into the 4070 Super today. I haven't actually played any games with it yet. I have done some 3DMark benchmarks, some Timespy, Port Royal, and not Firestrike, Speedway. And my results there I thought were pretty good. I was able to overclock this thing up to 280 megahertz, and it was stable in 3DMark. I'm not going to game like that. I'm going to game and show you the benchmarks on default settings. But we're going to jump into some really difficult titles that have come out in the last year to kind of try and flex the muscles of this thing and see what it's really capable of. I can't speak for y'all, but for me, I love ray tracing, and I don't want to say I love DLSS because I like the native performance rasterization better, but I think DLSS is a good tool for single player titles where, you know, maybe you're already at 60 FPS and you want to try and expand your experience and get, you know, higher frame rates over 120, stuff like that. Or maybe you are sitting just under 60 and you want to get above 60. I think there's useful applications for DLSS. I don't think it should be a band-aid for developers, and kind of sort of it does seem like that has becoming a trend, but I do think it's a useful technology. I enjoy using it, especially in titles like Cyberpunk, where I can turn all the eye candy up, and then I can turn DLSS 3 on and frame gen on and get super high frame rates as well. And in my just my personal opinion, I feel like DLSS looks way better than FSR. I am going to be going back to the XTX system here in a little bit though, and I'm going to try out the new drivers with fluid motion frames, and we'll kind of compare and contrast and see what that looks like. But today is all about the 4070 Super, so we're going to get into some heavy-duty titles that utilize ray tracing, utilize DLSS, like Alan Wake 2, Cyberpunk, and Avatar. And we'll see what else I feel like. I don't want to make the video too long. You know, I'll show 5-10 minutes of gameplay footage of each of the games. You can kind of skip around, watch what you want to watch, skip what you don't. I might throw a Fortnite in there. We'll see how it goes. All these tests are going to be on default settings. I'm not going to have any overclock on it. And on a 1440p monitor, since this is, you know, marketed as a 1440p GPU, that's what we're going to focus on. And we're going to see how it runs. So let's get into it. So this is a fun little game I played a couple of years ago called Bright Memory Infinite. It's like a kind of a first-person shooter story game. I had a lot of fun playing it. It has pretty good ray tracing, so I wanted to check it out.
Everything is fine for the moment. No issues. Begin preparations for descent.
Ooh.
Director Chen, I managed to escape the aircraft. I can see a massive black hole up ahead.
A black hole. Understood. I'll inform the other team members. For now, find a safe place to descend.
Roger.
And I don't remember...
Shelia.
I've only played this game through one time. I don't remember if I played it on my 3080 or my 4080.
As for that black hole, we don't have enough info. We're counting on your intel. According to satellite intel, General Lin's unit has already landed. Watch out. Shelia, this is Wake. I'm headed to your...
So this is on max settings. Ray tracing is on highest and DLSS is off, but we'll check it out in a moment with DLSS and frame generation.
I'm doing all right.
Okay, I'll contact you again later.
I think that this is a beautiful implementation of ray tracing. I really dig this game.
Shelia, any anomalies with the black hole?
It swallowed up a whole mountain. But apart from the rain, there's nothing unusual over here.
The theory is relativity. The greater the mass of an object, the more it goes down for more time. That means the time in that area must have been fixed several hours ago.
All right, let's go video. Okay, we'll go DLSS quality with frame generation off to start with. I can't pick up that gun, huh? Alright, we're not going to make a day out of playing the game, so let's just go. Although I'm kind of feeling it already, I might come back and play this when I'm done filming. Let's go. Let's turn frame generation on. Now we're over 150.
Shelia, got several hostiles headed your way.
Roger.
Old Y.
Magnetic field is unstable. I can't get a lock on your signal. Wake should be arriving in the vicinity. You're gonna have to rely on him.
Understood. I'm currently heading toward the black hole. General Lin has a huge team of him, so...
Yeah, this game is so fun.
Since there's the possibility of an encounter.
And it looks so good.
Okay.
I really like this game.
If anything happens.
You should definitely check this out if that's the kind of thing interests you. Bright Memory Infinite. But we're going to call it here. We're going to go on to some other games. And I don't know what I'm going to do next. I'm going to decide in a minute. Maybe Avatar. Avatar or Cyberpunk. Let's see what I choose. Okay, so I chose Avatar. And... that's right. Let's do quality. What is this? I never biased. Let's go with Ultra. I don't have... I forgot. I didn't unlock Unobtainium on here yet. Let's see how Ultra goes. Maybe I'll reset it and turn Unobtainium on. Reset the average. Guys. 85, 90 FPS in this game on Ultra? I mean, come on. I am telling you, this is the GPU to have. Unless you're going all out. Going all out and, you know, getting a XTX or a 4080, maybe 4090. That's one thing, but, man, at $600, I think this is a really good, I almost said value. You know, $600 is still a lot of money, right? So maybe it's not a good value, but it's not, super expensive to some people. I certainly think that this is worth, you know, saving for, working some overtime for, whatever. This is just, it's just so good, you know, like, it does everything well, And you know, you can look at the charts and compare it, and well, it's not much better than this, or this is this much better, but it's too easy to just like get caught up in the minutia of everything. Like, forget how this compares to a 4070 Ti or a Ti Super. Like, this is really good for what it is. And, you know, I wouldn't fault you if you wanted to save $100 and go with a 7800 XT either. But, you know, if you prefer NVIDIA, if you want to have DLSS and frame gen as opposed to fluid motion frames, if you like ray tracing, you know, I think this is the GPU. I think this with a 13600K, 14600K, you can put a system together for 1500-ish dollars. That's going to be so performative and last a long time. I just really like it. Like, yes, I have a system with a 13900K and a 4090, but let's be honest, that is not necessary, right? Like, nobody needs that. This is plenty. This is doing everything I want it to. And notice, you know, everyone wants to talk about VRAM, and yes, someday 12 gigabytes isn't going to be enough, but it's not today. Not yet. I haven't I haven't tested a game where 12 gigabytes hasn't been enough. I know other people have or have noticed stuff, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it. This seems to be perfectly appropriate. I don't remember how to get up there. That's right, I gotta hold it and then I can super jump. It's not a double jump. Alright, so let's we're not gonna change the graphics, but we are. Oh, frame generation is only available for FSR 3. That's right. Okay, well, one prize there for AMD. And I am going to do a comparison video. I've got so many videos I want to do that are kind of on the back burner for me, or in the pipeline rather. And one of them is I want to compare the 4090 and the 7900 XTX in this game in Unobtainium. I just think that'd be kind of fun to see. I think you'll see actually that the 7900 XTX is an absolute monster, and I mean, at $1,000, $900, if it continues to come down to 800, 850, man, that is a lot of GPU. You know, a lot of GPU. If you want to step up from something in this price range, you know, man, it's a really hard toss-up between the XTX and the 4080 Super in my mind. That all really just comes down to personal preference. You know, do you like ray tracing? Do you like the NVIDIA features versus the AMD features? That XTX I have is a total beast. Complete and utter beast. So we'll try that out here in a little bit. Not in this video, but in a different video, we'll try that out. So I'm going to quit the game. I'm going to enable Unobtainium, and I'm going to come back in and see how the 4070 Super does in Unobtainium. I can tell you off the top of my head that both the XTX and the 4090, when I looked at it, were like 30s in the FPS range, and needed FSR or DLSS to get over 60. But they did get over 60, and with frame generation on the XTX, I want to say it was close to 100. But again, we'll get back. We'll go over that in a different video. But I'm gonna quit the game. I'm gonna go in the Ubisoft launcher. I'm gonna enable Unobtainium, and we'll be back in a moment. All right, let's see here if it worked. Graphic, yes, there it is. Unobtainium. This is nuts, guys. This is a totally nuts setting. Did it just crash my GPU? No, okay. Let's continue. What do you think we're going to get? I never turned off DLSS, so we're on DLSS quality still. I don't think it's even worth trying without it, but we'll do it just for the funsies. Watch this thing brick my whole PC. Oh my god. Is this really real life? Video. Yeah, DLSS quality. Look at this, DLSS quality, and I'm getting 42, 43 FPS. It is not the smoothest. It is pretty, though. Let's go. And to be fair, like, there's a reason, I mean, kind of it's a gimmick, right? Like, ooh, you gotta unlock Unobtainium mode. But there's a reason that it's not just also included in the game, you know, like that you have to put that command line prompt in. Because I mean, this is a 40 series GPU, a 4070 Super, and it can't hardly do it. So imagine, you know, if somebody tried to do it on a 30 series or less, or a 6000 series, or like 5700 XT or something, like this would just be redonkulous. Apply. I just want to see if I can get over 60. If I can get over 60 in Unobtainium, that would be pretty cool. And it doesn't appear that I can. Still 40s, going up into the 50s. But that is almost enough. It didn't feel great in the 40s on this setting, which is interesting because the arc was getting... the arc was also in the 40s, and that felt pretty decent, but something about this right now today... it didn't feel great. But this is the max. This is like the most graphical setting you can run in today's world. And the 4070 Super is doing it, and doing it at playable frames. I did like it better on quality, but you know, your mileage may vary. You might like this. This looks like something I should be able to interact with, but... something down there was doing something to me. But enough of this. We're going to move on and try out Cyberpunk. Alright, so what do we want to start off with on Cyberpunk? Should we try... Let's just go for broke. And let's do Ray Tracing Overdrive. Turn frame generation on. Okay. And let's see here. I want to go... Where's my... Okay, Dogtown. I don't know. I'm just going to pick a random save in Dogtown so we can check out Phantom Liberty. Yeah, I've already played this, but it's whatever. I want to get to a point where I can hack some dudes up.
Shit. Hansen's people are there. Seems like they're given a job to finish.
How many are people there?
There were 11 on board, counting myself and Rosalind. How many still alive? No idea. Some way I could... Wait, I got it. The crane arm. Hop on. I think I can boot it up. Not a second to spare now. Ready, steady. Enemy backup's on the way.
Oh, I can't even... Must be a good robot. This is a pretty much indestructible build, by the way. That's why I'm just like standing here eating bullets, because I don't care. I haven't even broke out the Sand of Easton yet. So 80 FPS, that's pretty good. But let's just, for kicks and giggles, we will go back to... Let's just go to Ray Tracing Ultra. And let's go and turn DLSS off and frame gen off. That is not good. 36 FPS. I always do that. That is not good. Man, DLSS and FrameGen really do it here, don't they? Let's go... Let's just go to Ultra. If you're wondering why I'm doing all these weird things, it's because if you don't get that apply button to pop up, a lot of times these settings don't stick. Wait, did I go to... I don't want FSR. I want that. So, in just regular Ultra settings, we're getting 94.
That was all of them. Keep going.
Okay. Are you still alive? No. Not gonna tolerate that business. So, what else do I want to try? Let's do... What if we do ray tracing medium? Okay, so on medium we're getting 70.
What are you waiting for?
But to be fair, I didn't think I would be able to do this on the 4070 on the Super. I really didn't. I did not. It's not going to be able to do DLAA because I need the upscaling, but when I play on my 4090, I play in this with DLAA and frame generation, and I get like 70, 80. Quality, frame generation. Why does it keep flipping that to auto? Did it do that last time? There we go. Quality. Okay. Yeah, I did not expect to be able to do this. 70 FPS in Cyberpunk on RT Psycho. I will take it. You know, maybe you're against the trickery or whatever, but I'm not. And I don't think you should be either. But, you know, tomato, tomato. All that stuff.
And watch who you shoot. We got NUS agents there, not bogeys.
Am I?
Closing in. Keep up the heat.
Ooh, that guy's got a skull. Doesn't seem to matter. Language. I'm on YouTube.
From the side.
Pop your head out. Pop your dome out. No? Alright, fine.
Get inside quick.
I'm gonna find you, and I'm gonna beat you with my fists. Because I am annoyed.
See anything?
Whole lot of wrecked aircraft.
Anyone alive?
Nobody jumping out to greet me.
Shit! Are we too late? Keep moving back. You'll see a safe room. I'll pop the release on the door.
Ow! Ow!
Fuck's sake.
Let go!
If I do, you'll calm down?
It depends who you are.
Relax. Songbird sent me.
And you are?
Name's V.
Apologies. I had to be sure it was really you.
Right. Let's delta before.
Ooh!
Fucking hell.
V, language!
They just won't let up!
Where did she go?
We need them gone! Every last one!
I know.
Come back joining up! Really pull that
Let me see him inside.
Okay.
Execute him! Grabbing some big guns! Songbird, you there?
How's the cinch?
We're alive, both of us.
Now listen. Head for the vacant building on...
Elizabeth Cress, got it. Give me some credit.
It's the best place to lay low. No heat signatures, so it's empty. Not a soul inside. Now get moving.
Alright, so Cyberpunk RT Psycho settings. 67 FPS average. With DLSS quality and frame gen on. Feels good, looks good. This is awesome. Alright, let's do another intensive game, ray tracing game, and do Alan Wake 2. Let's see here. Graphics. Let's see if I can run in DLAA. No need motion blur or film grain on.
Let's go high. Why did that not go to high post-processing? That's interesting. There's stuff that doesn't get turned up. Ray tracing on high. Oh, I forgot this does path tracing. Okay. Probably gonna regret this without DLSS on. This is only the second game with path tracing that I'll have tried out, and I have not tried this on my 4090 yet.
A deputy was supposed to be here to show us to the crime scene. There's the car, so where's the deputy?
This is a total slideshow. Is this what it's like to play on console, guys? I don't remember. Oh my god, this is so bad. Okay. Let's go back. And we'll go quality. And let's just, well, you know, I want to see what I get before I turn frame gen on. Wow, 38, 39. That being said, this is very smooth. And as compared to the Arc, using FSR, my glass looks normal. Again, you haven't seen that video yet because I started working on this, but using FSR on the Arc GPU, all this glass and the taillights, they all looked super, super bad. And people's eyeballs had like all this weird lighting, like they were glowing. Yeah, his eyes look normal.
Could be our deputy.
I can go take a look.
All right, let's go. Normally, I would not advocate to put frame gen on with this low of a base frame rate, but since it feels good, it plays smooth, I'm going to go ahead and do it. And please just give me over 60. Wow, that's wild. Just barely at 60.
Hey, over here.
1% lows are 17. Okay, reset it. Now we go.
Agent Casey, right? Sheriff Breaker said you'd be coming by to take.
All right, so I mean, this looks freaking great. Like, this is wild.
Anderson.
Saga Anderson. I'll be leading this case. Seems you already know my partner, Alex Casey.
Shoot. Sorry about that, ma'am. I'm Deputy Mulligan. I just figured that, you know, that...
I want to see her face. Why can't I see her face?
Federal agent's right here, Thornton. My partner, Thornton.
Let's go, Billy Bob.
Down at the crime scene. He's not what you call the sharpest axe in the shed.
Right here? What do you mean? Are they with you? Oh, shit! They didn't hear me, did they?
So I think this is another good point to make, though. So, no, $600 is not cheap. However, at this price point, this is a lot of performance. I mean, considering, you know, path tracing is so difficult to run. The fact that we can get a 60 FPS experience with this is fairly to moderately impressive, right? I mean, I don't know. To me, it is. It would be great if this thing cost $200, right? That's just not realistic. 500, 550, you know, I don't know. This is still brand new, you know, it just came out. The 4070's down to 550. You know, you always pay to be an early adopter, so, you know, wait till the 50 series comes out and they'll be blowing these things out, and, you know, you can probably buy a TI Super for $600 in a year or two. You know, you don't always have to have the latest and greatest. It's cool though if you can. So,
Were there any
you know,
witnesses?
Yeah,
whatever.
a couple out of towners. I wonder what they were doing.
Let's and I'm not trying to make light of like how expensive things are. Things are expensive. Life is hard. Life is expensive. Um, but I'm just trying to play games, man, you know, and I like all this eye candy and stuff, and it's just it's fun to do this stuff. If you can't do it, you know what? You can game. You don't have to game with ray tracing on. You don't have to do any of this stuff. So, you know, grain of salt, I guess. Grain of salt.
Sneaking around the woods at night.
So with path tracing off,
Not that we have anything against city folk.
yeah. I mean, it still looks great. It still looks great. But I can see, you know, the lighting from how the sun came down right there is way different. It's still super good looking though. And here we are getting 120 FPS. And this is like supposed to be so difficult to run, right?
I want to see the body.
Not supposed to be, but you know, the minimum requirements, the recommended requirements are pretty up there. If I remember right, this is, what is it? What did it recommend? Like a 6800 XT or a 3080? Or was it a 3080 and then AMD was higher? It was like a 7900 XT or something like that. So here we are with a 4070 Super, and getting over 100 FPS with DLSS and frame gen. And this is why I like this tech, you know, like,
Make sure I'm seeing the
it would be great to be able to run this at 120 FPS without that stuff, but I also want the game developers to push the graphics and to do things like this, so... No, I don't want to do all that right now, but... So, I do want them to push graphics and do this kind of stuff, so
sift through clues and work the case.
if DLSS and frame gen make it look good and playable, I'm all for that, you know? It's going to enable us all to do more with less. Again, like I mentioned before, I don't think it should be a crutch. I don't think...
Worth taking another look.
I don't think that, you know, they should plan on using DLSS. I think they should try and, you know, optimize games so that you don't need it. And have that be more like an adjunct if you want to get better performance. But it is what it is.
Already hard at work, Anderson. Close to cracking it.
We're just getting started. Let's head down the hill to the crime scene. Hey, Casey. You putting me in charge. Why now?
Look, Anderson, you're a...
I don't know if I'm going the right way or not.
I am. You've cracked cases that had the rest of us baffled. I don't
Supposed to be going downhill. This is definitely not downhill, but...
You know what happens to cops who say this is their last case.
Mm-hmm. Real funny, Anderson.
I'm going to turn all the eye candy back on, and I'm going to just see if I go to balanced. Balance isn't much better, is it? And I generally like... I feel like DLSS quality, I don't personally notice a difference in quality, but when I get down to balanced and performance, I do start to see...
Stairs are out.
You know, everything looks a little bit
Down.
too sharp, too grainy. So yeah, here we are, path tracing, 60 FPS. And our 1% lows are not abysmal. We're not dropping below 30. Yeah, I mean, this is just such a gorgeous game, too. Like this, I feel like I'm in the woods. I can feel the fog, and with my headset, I can hear the water on the other side. Like, I don't, man, I love video games. I really love gaming so much. That's why I do this. I want you guys. You probably, if you're here watching my channel, you already love video games, right? So I want to show you guys what is possible in the world of hardware to get the experience that you want. That's the whole point, man. I'm just an average gamer like the rest of you that happens to have the resources right now to be able to buy this stuff and take a look at it together and have a good time. You know?
Deputy Thornton, I take it.
That's me, at your service, ready to get this case solved. Now the body's behind the store. Come on, I'll show you.
Let's go, Thornton.
So, FBI, huh? That's so cool.
That's so cool.
Serial killers and shootouts with the mob.
You forgot the UFO cover-ups.
What? Those are real? You guys hiring?
Those are real? You guys hiring?
See this body, shall we?
Real Dudley Do-Right over here.
Now this is the scene of the crime. We found him on the table.
G. Rose.
Nothing, you know, procedures and stuff.
Thanks, Deputy.
No tarp. You owe me a coffee.
Okay, let's start by examining our guest of honor. Does this fit the MO of the previous murders?
All right, we're going to go ahead and call it here. We don't need to get super into the story or anything like that, but man, I'm really impressed with this GPU. I don't know if I mentioned that or not yet, but this is a lot of fun. This is a really cool product. All right, let's see what kind of settings we've got on Starfield. I think it was still set up for the A770. Oh, that's right. You know, I haven't actually played this since they put DLSS in it. Well, let's try everything on Ultra, and we'll have this off. I think this is just a random save in the city from when I was testing on the A770 the other day. Well, this is pretty typical Starfield. Pretty typical? Stipical? Did I say pretty typical? Pretty typical Starfield performance here. In that you can see we're dipping down into the 50s. But as I noted in the A770 video, that you haven't seen yet because I haven't finished it yet, this game is pretty playable at 40 FPS. And we're hitting 60s.
Maybe we should stop for a moment. You know, to pay our respects.
Let's go over by these trees. I want to check out what the trees look like. And shrubbery. You must bring me a shrubbery.
Diplomacy will never die.
It's amazing to think that this tree predates New Atlantis.
Isn't it crazy, Sarah? So crazy. How do I get to the settings? I don't even remember. System, settings, display. Okay, so let's go DLSS quality. And let's just turn frame gen on and hope for the best. Now we're getting 100 FPS. That's pretty impressive. And our frames were mostly above 60, so it doesn't feel bad either.
You some kind of an acrobat.
Dude, Sarah is such a bore. I love how the train is just like a loading screen. Like, it'd be kind of cool if you could actually like ride the train and look out the window and see the city going by and stuff. But all we get is a loading screen. Alright, let's go get in my spaceship. Ooh, look at that lightning. That was cool.
I've always liked that statue. I wonder what the artist was trying to represent.
The scan is perfectly safe. Please keep. Yumi is looking for reliable people to help the guard. Contact them.
This thing looks kind of goofy sitting here on its wing like that. Like, what? What is holding it up? Is it just using anti-grav sitting on the launch surface here? Like, what? Let's take off. And unfortunately, not that I want to turn this game into a review of Starfield, but I was always kind of disappointed that this is what spaceflight is. You know, you can't really go anywhere. You're just kind of in orbit around a planet, and, you know, maybe somebody will come in that you'll have to fight. You know, a pirate will attack you when you land somewhere or something, but you're pretty much just out here with no frame of reference. Nothing gets any closer or farther away for the most part. Except for the ships, you know, but anywho, we're getting 150, 160 FPS out here with DLSS and frame gen on. So, that's cool. Let's go, I don't know, I want to go to like a random planet and fight something. These are all real low level. Here's a level 40. Leviathan. That sounds dangerous. Let's go to Leviathan. I've already been there, but I don't... It's been months since I played this game. I finished it. I'm on New Game Plus now, and I haven't really done anything. I don't even think this character... I think I have like one gun and a sword. And maybe no ammo, so that could be a problem. Maybe I haven't been here. Cannot land in the ocean. Let's land in the wetlands and see what's up.
Look at this world. It's beautiful. Just...
Yeah, I have a Grendel, but no ammo. So... that's cool. Let's load up the solar flare. 120 something FPS. It does look really good with DLSS on. Pack windbag. That seems to have upset them. I need Sarah to do all my fighting because I don't have any bullets. I should have bought some ammo in the city. What if I do that? Why am I bleeding? It's so random. I thought that was like a person. What is that? Let's just turn frame gen off. So we're still in DLSS quality, but frame gen is off. $77. I think I picked a good world to try this out on. All this weather and all the effects and stuff have taken a little bit of a toll. What if... let's just try... ooh, we can try DLAA. Yeah, let's try that. This sword does no damage. Okay, there's one. And now, just for kicks, we'll go back to... off. So we're getting 60 with it off. Okay. Ooh, that thing is level 60. I'm gonna need Sarah to do most of the work here. Let's see what happens. Ow. Shoot it. Oh. Alrighty then. So, pretty close to a 60 FPS experience, both on Jemison and on this random planet. But DLSS worked pretty good. With DLAA on, it was a little bit less, of course. Let's try balance just for kicks. $90 FPS. I do feel like balanced maybe is starting to look a little grainy. Maybe. Let me... Yeah, this is better. Quality is good. And honestly, look at that. I'm getting better FPS. That's wild. You know, Starfield is super playable, very enjoyable, max settings, not a problem for the 4070 Super. Not that I thought it would be. Okay, we're in Immortals of Aveum now, and let's see how this got set up. Display. Uncapped. We want to turn DLSS off, frame gen off. Graphics. 950 on the GPU score, eh? Everything is ultra, reflections high, which is the max. Ultra high, ultra, ultra, ultra. Alright, let's see what happens. I mean, this is pretty unreal, to be honest, isn't it? If you guys have watched any of my other videos, you know that this game can be kind of a mother to run, and we are solidly over 60 FPS. That door is open. All right, should we try some trickery? Let's try some trickery. Let's go turn DLSS on quality. Turn reflex on, DLSS on. Look at that, now we're over 100. Oh, what's that? You know what, guys? This GPU is incredible. I just don't know how... I don't know how you can play on this and not be impressed and be happy with the performance. I don't... It's beyond me. Okay, so actually... as... I guess I shouldn't have talked too good about the GPU, because when I tried to reboot the game, I crashed 3 times trying to start with frame generation on. So I have turned it off. I turned DLSS off, turned frame gen off, and latency is on. Go figure. So that aside, DLSS was working amazing. But you don't really need it, so there's that.
A spell altar.
Oh. Hold RB and press A. Oh, okay. That was cool. Oh. He was fast-ish.
Shit. Sir, a Rashanian airship wearing Order of Masks colors just flew over my location. Going to check it out.
Negative. I need you back here. We know it's headed in the same direction anyway.
It's not bearing for the front at all, sir. They seem interested in some kind of temple way out here.
An Order Magnus is beyond you, Jack.
Debatable.
Boss fight.
Sir, it's the hand.
You're sure?
Okay then. Definitely sure. This just got very important, sir.
Agreed. You're clear for recon only. Follow, but do not engage. Find out what the hand is looking for.
Kirkin. Maybe engage a little.
Interesting that it dropped frames during that cutscene. I don't know if y'all noticed that. And actually, we're in the 50s now. Ooh, I don't have any more health crystals. Let's see what happens with frame gen on one more time. Oh, you are not fun. Oh.
They went down that hole.
Nope. Frame gen is not functional in this game right now. Okay, well, we'll just call that there. You can see what the performance is like native and with DLSS quality on. I don't know what's up with frame generation. Alright, so I've been messing around in The Last of Us, and just going to show you what I've got settings-wise here. Currently, I have DLSS quality on, but I'm going to show you default first, and yes, I want to apply the changes. And then graphics-wise, the auto setting, just everything is ultra. Everything is maxed out. Let's reset the average. So as you can see here, with the default settings on, 76 FPS average, 1% lows are 65. Let's go ahead and put this over here. You might remember that this is Bill's town. We just got here. Trying to figure out a way to get inside.
There we go.
Okay. Fire.
Where do you usually meet him?
God, this thing uses a lot of system RAM, doesn't it? 19 gigs.
You've never been here, have you?
I know this is where he lives, but no, I ain't never been here personally.
And that smoke, you think that's him?
Sure as hell better be.
Well, let's go check it out then.
Let's go. Let's look at this with DLAA on. Oh, DLAA is already on. Just kidding. So let's turn it off. I thought it looked too good. DLAA really, really cranks up the visuals, in my opinion. It can affect your GPU a good bit. My 4090 runs the hottest it will run doing RT Psycho on Cyberpunk with DLAA enabled. But it doesn't appear to be really giving me much of a hit here. We're still, yeah, in the middle 70s. I mean, for comparison's sake, you know, my 4090, when I tried it at 1440p, was like, well, I guess you know, I don't want to misspeak. I think that I was around 90 to 100, but I don't remember off the top of my head. The point is, though, that I think is still true, this is really close when you consider the money factor. Let's go now and try DLSS. We're on quality. We should get over 100 now.
Down here. Just watch your step. It's a good drop.
And here's the thing with this type of game, like, we picked up, what, 20 to 30 FPS, but it didn't really need it. Like, if this was locked at 60, it would have been just fine. So, you know, you do you. Now, maybe if you were hitting over 120 here, like I do on my 4090, maybe you'd think that was worth it, but now that I say that, like, as soon as I mention 120, we're over 120 now. But, you know, you make that call yourself. I personally, with DLSS quality, I don't notice any bad visuals. I really like DLSS.
Easy, easy.
So I'm pretty impressed. I mean, the 4070 also played this really well. Look at that lens flare from the sun. This game is so pretty. Look at all these details and all this texture. Individual blades of grass. I mean, this is just... This game is bonkers. It really is.
Then we go find Tommy.
So, yeah, I don't know. If I was playing on this system, I'd probably just turn DLSS off. Unless I was running... You know, some scenes... Let's load up a different... let's go... Yeah, let's go to the dam where there's lots of water and fog and stuff. Let's just see what that looks like. You know, because different parts of the game are going to have different requirements, so to speak. You know, depending on what the landscape is and what kind of textures and stuff you're trying to run. Still over 100 here. That water looks amazing. This game is so good. All right, let's go ahead and while we're here, I'm just going to go back to default. Yeah, there's almost no point in running DLSS in this game. I mean, I'm getting over 80 here. I thought it might be harder here.
hydroelectric power plant.
70s with all this going on.
It uses the river's movement and turns it into electricity. Look, I know what it is. I don't know how it does it.
Hit 98 there for a second.
How are we getting across?
Not this way.